What are some movies, music, or media that has changed the way you think about life?
Wow.
Yeah. I know it's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Just off the top of the dome.
So
but
movies, music, and media.
yes. And so we'll start with movies.
Okay.
And I can go first if you want a little bit of time to think.
Yeah.
So my first movie.
That has changed the way you think about life.
Yes.
Okay. Not just like your favorite, but maybe your favorite one has changed
be.
it. Okay.
You can also do your favorite.
So I'm thinking of like some favorite movies, but I don't know if they've changed my life. But we'll see.
It could be the way they change the way you look at your life. It doesn't have to be like life changing, like you're a different person, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, so it could just be the way you look at life is a little bit different.
Cool. I like it.
So for me, personally, my first one was Phantom of the Opera. And I think we've talked about this a couple times on the podcast itself. But the way he hits that note at the end of the movie, when he's lost his love, he is losing his place. The Phantom is losing the place he has lived his whole life, which is at the opera house. And he hits this high note and he breaks this mirror. And behind the mirror is an escape hatch. And he flees the scene. He leaves behind everything. But he ultimately did the right thing. He let go of the girl he had kidnapped because she wouldn't love him.
Christine.
Yeah. And he gets away and he did the right thing. It's a little bit tragic, but it was all conveyed through the emotional performance of the actor and like the way it was framed and shot and the music swelling at the very end. And that was the moment that I knew I wanted to do something with music. And later on in life, I ended up doing something with media too.
Wow.
And it really did. It shaped my life.
Yeah. So particularly how it was portrayed, like the music and him singing, as well as the cinematography of the Phantom at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it was all of it.
You. Yeah.
It was the whole scene.
The acting, the music, the lyrics.
The lyrics, the way it was shot, the lighting, everything about it made me feel what I assume was exactly what they wanted me to feel in that moment.
Yeah.
And literally changed the trajectory of my entire life. That one moment when I felt something about what was happening on screen. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make people feel like I feel right now. I want to just like give that to other people because it was such a gift to me, you know?
I love that.
So
that's beautiful.
That's my first one.
Cool. Do you have any other movies?
I do. Do you want to do yours?
Oh, I mean, I have one that I'm thinking of. So the movies I'm thinking of, I'll throw this one out first. They're not maybe the movie itself changed how I think about life with this one, but it impacted my life. And it is a 2020 movie called The News of the World, which is a Western movie with Tom Hanks. I don't know how well it did. And you and I, like, we had a major snowstorm. Were visiting, I believe, from Michigan.
From Michigan.
We'd just been dating for a couple months at that point. And it was a truly massive snowstorm, like I think a foot of snow on New Year's Eve. And we were hanging out New Year's Day.
Well, we were hanging out New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah. And then like New Year's Day, we were hanging out and we're like, let's go to the movies.
Yeah.
Because everything else is closed down. And so we drove to Lee Summit through a crazy amount of snow into an unplowed parking lot. I think they had like an 11 a.m. or noon showing. We were the only people in the entire, not only movie theater as in this movie we were watching, but the entire theater.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember us just like having a great time hanging out together, watching this random Western movie. And I was just like, I really like this guy a lot.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I think that impacted a little bit of life, just like feeling so comfortable with you and us like having a lot of making our own fun kind of a thing. And I don't really remember the movie like terribly well. I think it was okay, but just like hanging out with you during it was really fun.
Yeah. And
it felt like we were the only people in the world kind of a situation. Like we drove out there, like drove by a handful of cars. There's just like the one person working at the movie theater, you know, and just like, oh, it's just us.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Thanks. So less the movie and more the opportunity.
Hey, that still counts, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my second one would be The Gladiator.
Okay.
It was the first time I had ever seen somebody die on screen and not been sad about it. Because his death meant something.
It's impactful, yeah.
Yeah. And it made me look back at my life and be like, what do I have to die for right now? You know, what is there in my life that's truly a cause worth dying for? And I think that's the first time I experienced the end of a movie being like sad, happy. And then I kind of get addicted to those types of movies where the hero dies at the end. Still kind of am.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah. You're like, all right, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. I like that they end happy sometimes, but I really like a tragic hero, honestly. And having his family ripped away from him while he was in captivity, and then being forced back into captivity, being forced to fight against the current emperor, and at the end being reunited with his family in a really tragic way, made the whole story make sense, but it also made me want to live for something bigger than myself, which is what we talked about with Carson a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A man needs a cause bigger than himself.
Something to fight for.
Yeah, I think that's what I felt in that moment. So less relational than your experience of us in the snowstorm, it was amazing. It was really cool to drive through that and get to that theater and be literally the only ones there. Like, I think even in the lobby, we walked in and we're like,
like there's one person like starting to make popcorn. They're like, oh, somebody showed up.
Somebody's here. We should make some popcorn.
Yeah.
We're like, we don't want popcorn.
Yeah, it's like 11 in the morning or something. Yeah.
Too good.
That's
but
nice.
Yeah, any other movies?
So Gladiator. I would say Anne of Green Gables was super impactful to me.
Okay.
I've watched the movie. They might have made some more recent TV shows, but like quintessential movie, I don't know when it came out, 80s, 90s or something. Watched it several times. Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea, I think, is the sequel. Read the books growing up, but I remember really, even from a young age, identifying with Anne, the main character, even though I'm not orphaned. I have a lovely family, don't have red hair. So I didn't identify with that, but she was somebody who was a little bit different, a little bit spunky. Yeah. And I always thought, I'm like, if I was living,
an orphan.
No, less an orphan, but living during her time period, I would be the one like running through the forest and like maybe, not wearing a dress and wearing some pants or, doing something that's a little bit countercultural. But I remember watching it maybe 10 years ago. And I cried. I've cried in maybe 5 movies in my life. But Gail, the main character, really loves Anne. And Anne likes Gail, but she's afraid of like what it means to like actually like fall in love because you might get heartbroken or whatever. And I was like, that's me. Like, I want to find love, but I'd rather not, because I'd rather not get hurt, And so I remember like watching that. I'm like, I am Anne and I will be alone forever. Even though she ends up being happy with Gail. But it's after many years that she ends up with him in the story of the books. And so I remember that impacting me as a kid.
Another movie that's similar where you cried was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe over some similar feelings, but was Little Women.
That was another one I was thinking
of. Yeah. What was her name?
Jo.
Jo. You really sympathize with Jo.
Yes. She as well is kind of similar character as Anne from Anne of Green Gables, Jo March, where she's like, oh, she's going to be a writer, which is a less feminine thing to do. And Lori like loves her, but she's like, I can't be hurt. I don't want to, so she just kind of says
Lori's
no.
a guy.
Yes, Lori is, a dude.
Yeah.
But I remember watching that and crying. And I think we were like kind of reconnecting around that time.
We were.
We watched it together.
We did. We watched it together.
I remember sitting there.
Really platonic movie to watch together.
Right before like you moved to Michigan, And I remember sitting there and being like, I will be the Jo who pushed away Caleb and he's leaving me and it's all my fault. And sitting there like trying not to cry. I think you even got emotional watching it.
It is an emotional movie. It was really good. The remake is awesome.
Yeah. So
it really holds up.
That was something else that impacted me.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any other movies?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah. I have another last one to throw out.
Okay.
And it is the movie Cats.
Oh God.
Which is a remake of like a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
And we attempted to watch it 2 different times.
Twice. Couldn't do it.
And I think that impacted my life in the fact that I was like, I can't do it. We talked about this might have been like right before you moved to Michigan, watching this movie together. We even rented it for like $5.
Yeah.
Which I don't pay money to rent movies. And I remember making it like 10 minutes in and like being like, I can't do this.
And that was the first time you've ever told me that.
Yeah.
Like for a movie. Because you watch a lot of movies that I wanted to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a real cinephile type of dude. And you were very kind
Yeah.
in watching those movies you didn't really want to watch. But this is the only movie you ever turned to me and said, I can't do this.
And I remember being like, oh, I felt comfortable enough that I could be like, I don't want to watch this, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
It was hilarious.
Yes. I remember
it was one of my favorite things.
Yeah. And then like 2 years later, we tried to watch it again and made another.
Could not do it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It still does not hold up to this day.
Yeah.
I'd say another one that I just thought of was Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And I think it was less that it was transformative in the way I thought about my life, but that it really marked a time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember being I think I was probably, I can't remember what age, but I was sick when I watched the first Lord of the Rings, and like it was like a fever dream.
Oh no.
But I liked it so much that it kind of became like all I was about for a long period of time. I loved Lord of the Rings. Like, would go into the woods, like kind of forage around.
Gandalf.
Yeah.
No, I am a hobbit.
Yeah, and I'm short and hairy. You know, I kind of got most of it going on for me. But I just remember it being such like probably a year of my life where I was just obsessed with the Lord of the Rings. I got the Lord of the Rings like movie companion that told you about all the different characters in the Lord of the Rings. I hadn't even read the books yet. And then I got like the Lord of the Rings book set. I went through all the books, and so it was less of a life transformation, but it was more of like marking a time in my life.
That's cool.
That was really fun for me.
Nice.
So Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
Big impact.
Love it. It was a great question.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one.
Yes.
This one might be more tough because it's music.
Yes.
So music that has impacted your life or changed your life in some sort of way. And I can go first if you need a minute.
I'm thinking of one. Cool. I went to a conference called Acquire the Fire. It was, I think, with Teen Mania, which is like a ministry that doesn't exist anymore. I believe I was around 15, 16 years old.
Teen Mania.
Went with my youth group, and John Mark McMillan was there. And it was the first time I heard How He Loves, that worship song. And it's a full stadium of teenagers. I would say maybe 20,000. I'm not exactly sure how many. That it's a very packed out stadium.
You can smell that just by
I think it was one of the first sessions, so nobody smelled too bad yet.
Okay, yeah.
But I remember it was everybody's first time hearing How He Loves. I think he had just written it recently. It wasn't like a common worship song or on the radio. And got to the chorus. He loves us, oh, how he loves us. And we just sang it for like 10 minutes. Wow. And then the music just played, and then people just started singing it again. Like, it was just really beautiful, like a whole bunch of teenagers getting really moved by these simple lyrics of Jesus loves me, like in my, brokenness. And I'm sure a lot of people not even knowing quite what they're singing, but I remember that being really cool. Like, they tried to end the word, move on to the next song, a couple times, and just a bunch of little teenagers just kept singing it out.
That's cool.
Remember that being really impactful time, and like just for a worship song, how it can, singing really brings people together, and even super simple lyrics in 6/8 timing, which I don't like songs in because I'm not very good at playing them. Can impact people.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
He was great with that.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd do like the falsetto part at the end too. Man, what a time in life. That's a very specific time. I can remember
Yeah.
John Mark McMillan was huge. And I didn't love him vocally,
Yeah.
but his songwriting was really, really good. So I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that being impactful. I wonder if you took like some infrared goggles and just looked down at a stadium of 20,000 people, could you see like all the farts going on that nobody hears, you know?
Especially when everybody's singing nice and beautifully.
Yeah, because that's 20,000 butts. You don't think
I thought
about
you were
that.
going somewhere really beautiful with
No,
this.
not at all. I was just, you don't think about that's 20,000 butts in a stadium together. I just want to see like the puffs of poop steam coming off of them.
You don't actually want to see that.
I do. It seems hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Anyways, mine was, it's called Elysium by Hans Zimmer, or Elysium, and it's playing during or right directly after the death scene in Gladiator.
Oh, really? Okay, so kind of that connection, yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind of married in my head, but it's just it was one of the first songs by him that I really, really enjoyed. And it's a very freeing, happy song directly after this amazing death scene.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be lauded for its heroicism, or however you would say that. And then there's this really like encouraging, happy song as he reunites with his family in heaven. And that always stuck with me. And maybe that's where my love for soundtracks was born. I'm not sure.
That's
But
great.
yeah, that. And then I love Hans Zimmer in most of it, anything he does. But Time in Inception, the song's called Time. It's like the main theme of it. And it's just an amazing song. Just so simple, but really complex ideas in the background. And it really, that also helped form my love for soundtracks, which is primarily what I've written the past 10, 11 years of my life, maybe longer. But that's a good, I like how you took it like a worship route. I wonder what would be my song. I think I really like the song It's Just a Little While Longer Until I See You.
That definitely impacted my life.
Yeah. That was, I don't know where it came from.
Wrote that even?
No idea. I think it might have just been
a chorus.
A chorus that was sang, but it really impacted me because I think that plays into the heroic death that we all as men want to have.
Yeah.
It's like die for a bigger cause. And that was the saying, is just like, it's just a little while longer in this suffering of this life until we see you, Lord. And it's going to be worth it. Like you are the cause that's worth it for us to die for. So maybe that connects in a weird way.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
What about Green Eyes by Coldplay, babe?
That's a good one.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah. When we were dating the first time, you had told me about the For You feature on Spotify. And I got Spotify and I looked up a song about green eyes. And
because you have green eyes.
Because I have green eyes.
Yeah.
And I think I sent you the playlist or something. You know.
Did you really?
Yeah. Green eyes, you're the one I wanted to find.
Subliminal messaging.
That's a cute song. That's a nice one. On that, similar to the the worship song you were talking about, I think it's All Is For Your Glory.
Yes.
By
that's a good song.
Laura Park.
Yeah.
And I remember singing that song in college. And like the chorus is like, put me anywhere. Just put your glory in me. I'll serve anywhere. Just let me see your beauty. And I remember, singing that through college and worship sets and stuff. And then I was on a absolutely horrendous missions trip to Italy. And this wasn't like, tourism Italy. This was like Southern Italy, run by the mafia, scary Italy. And I had signed up for the trip to go to Milan and work with a YWAM base there. And then they ended up being like, we're actually going to drop you off in the middle of nowhere, Italy. And it was the hottest heat wave in like 70 years in Italy. It was legit 118 degrees with a feel like temperature of like 135. and there was no air conditioning. We couldn't drink the water. It had to be like bottled water, and they kept running out of water. And I remember they had a little bit of like Wi-Fi if you sat on top of the roof of this building we were staying at. So I'm sitting on this like flat roof, and I remember I was sending little Snapchat videos to my mom. And there's this one of me singing, "Put me anywhere, just put your glory in me, and I'll serve anywhere." And I remember like just like singing it and like sending it to her. I'm like, I'm actually like on this missions trip, and I've sung for years, like, God, I'll go anywhere, I'll do anything. And now I'm actually in the middle of like horrible Italy, and it's like really hot and really not what we signed up for, but we're doing missions work. And I'm being like, well, I sang it and he took me up on my word.
Yeah.
I remember it being like, like our prayers that we don't even realize we're praying or don't really even mean, especially when we're singing them.
Mm-hmm.
But it even like gave me strength in that moment. Like, it's all for Jesus.
That's good.
It's a good song.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be careful what you sing.
I know.
Careful what you say.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll do it.
Certain lyrics and songs, I'm like, I'm not going to sing that because I don't want that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Last one would be TV shows.
Oh, man. I think that the TV show Lost really impacted me. It's the first, like my family, we didn't have like cable TV growing up, and we didn't really watch a ton of TV. We would watch like movies and stuff like that. But this is when Netflix came out and you would order DVDs. And we'd heard about this TV show called Lost, which I think at the time had 5 seasons out. And there was this summer where we would get 2 CDs at a time delivered to us of Lost. And we would sit and watch 5, 6, 7 episodes in a row. My mom, my brother, and I. And it was such a good show. And the first show that I'd ever watched that had like cliffhangers and like flashbacks, flash forwards. It's like a mystery. And like, the episode ends and you just gotta watch the next one. And I remember like us finishing 3 or 4 episodes, and I'd be like, guys, we should like go do something. And I'd like go upstairs and then hear the next episode playing. My mom and Josh are listening, watching it. And then we actually watched like the last season.
Did you go back down?
Of course.
Oh, okay,
I can't, let him watch it without me.
Yeah.
But it was just a really fun summer, and like something that we didn't normally do, was watch a bunch of TV. But yeah, to this day, it's like really fun memories with that TV show. And we watched the last season as it aired live, and like record on our VHS the episode once a week and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Just really liked that. I don't know. Maybe that murder mystery kind of vibe that I still enjoy.
Yeah, you really do still like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's more of like a marking time in your life.
Exactly.
Than it is because the show was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. The ending was okay.
I did not like the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it marked your life. It was a great time in your life.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
I think I was maybe 18. I think I just graduated high school when we were finishing it up around that time, 17, 18. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that whole thing with my little brother, Jake.
Okay.
That was probably, now that I think about it, that was probably the beginning of like our actual adult friendship.
Cool.
Was like watching all of Lost. I think I was just graduating high school as well, and thinking about going to YWAM, and we literally would stay up till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Watching episodes of Lost, and it was like getting not good.
Right.
But as long as you had people there that were in it with you, it made it fun.
The last 2 seasons weren't as good. Yeah.
They weren't, but the people you did it with were the most important thing. And so that's a great show to be marked by, honestly.
And there's this song I think it's called By the Mamas and the Papas, Make Your Own Kind of Music.
Oh.
Make your own kind of music. And it plays in the hatch in, I think, season 2 or 3 when Desmond, he's the guy who's in the hatch who has to push this button or else the world explodes or something.
Yeah.
And when they introduced him, they played that song. So before I came out to college here in Kansas City, I did a semester at a community college in Colorado and did a guitar class and did a performance to that song.
No way.
And sang that song.
That's so funny. What?
And several people came up afterwards and congratulated my mom on how good she did because we looked very similar at the time.
Oh,
And I was
nice.
like, nobody even told me I did good. They told my mom I did.
Stolen valor.
But I remember finishing the last episode of Lost and absolutely despising the ending. If I watched it again, I might like it a little bit more. But I remember the next morning waking up and going down to ask my brother something because his room was in the basement. And he's sitting there at his laptop watching the pilot episode of Lost.
Oh, poor guy.
Like he wanted to make things good again.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think one for me, and it's not one that's like changed my life, but it really helped me through a hard time in life, was How I Met Your Mother.
Aw.
It was a rough year. And I think it was the year before the final season had aired.
Okay.
And I started getting into the show, How I Met Your Mother. I think it was probably through Daniel Yake, maybe. Or maybe it was before I even met him. But man, oh man, it was the actors in that show were comedians in and of themselves. They're just such funny people. And that was the first laugh track show that I really, really enjoyed. Even though I'm not a big fan of laugh tracks, especially today. I think they've gone
the last notable laugh track kind of show.
I think so for me.
Yeah.
But it helped me through a really rough time in life. There wasn't a whole lot to laugh about in those 2 years. I was really going through it, but it picked me up and it kept me going. You know, humor. There's a lot of what's it called? The soldiers in the trenches would have this kind of humor about them. It was like death humor or
dark humor.
There's a lot of dark humor. But you need that. And the soldiers in the trenches back in World War II, World War I, you can hear them tell stories, and it's like that's what kept them going, was like that dark sense of humor. It was just like you need laughter in those hard seasons to keep you going through it, and you need people to laugh with. And so Jacob was one of those people that I watched the show with, and it was really cool to be invested in such a funny show with a great guy, and also for it to carry me through a really rough time. So I think How I Met Your Mother. Another show that I love that I don't recommend is Peaky Blinders.
Okay. Violent.
It's violent. Everything.
Okay.
It's not a good show to watch. But again,
10 out of 10 wouldn't recommend.
Yes, okay. But it's the people you watch it with, you know. And Jacob was one of those people, but also Carson.
Okay.
Shout out to Carson Acton, who's been on the pod a couple times, but he was one of the people I wanted to show the show to. And we got to the end of the show, and he was just like, there's nobody to root for. Like, everybody in here is a bad guy.
They all suck.
They all suck. And it was a really cool thing for him to say, because it was like a realization for me, of like, oh, you know, I thought this whole show was about the art, but I was also not as invested in the actual storyline as I should have been. Because he was right. There's nobody to root for. And what good did it do me to watch an entire show where there's nobody to root for?
There's nothing redemptive.
Nothing redemptive, nothing healthy about it. It was just like a cool show. And man, it was made so well. That's what draws you in. But I think the realization after I watched it was probably the most rewarding part of watching that show. Is just like, wow, you really got to look at the character of the people that are being portrayed. And there has to be somebody to root for. Otherwise, what good is it for you to watch that?
To watch how many ever seasons there were. And yeah.
And I mean, I probably, I don't know if I'll ever go through it again.
Yeah.
But it was a good lesson, you know? So I think that's another show that really marked me.
Cool.
Yeah.
What a great questions, babe.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, I appreciate you going on the journey, girl.
Yeah, of course.